Yo, what is up, boys? How's it going? And welcome back to another episode of the Rant Cafe Anime Podcast. We got something new going on today. Me and Anime Recon are talking about seasonal anime, but more specifically, we're talking about 3 anime. And I want this to be an ongoing series where every week, or every other week, whenever we have time, we're going to talk about 3 new seasonal anime. Today, we're talking about Dandadan, Blue Lock, and Demon Lord 2099. Recon, how's it going, brother?
It is going great. Thank you for having me. Just the two of us here on Rant Cafe, and we're going to be talking about awesome anime series.
Hell yeah, Recon and Briggs 100 years. I can't believe I'd be saying that. All right, which one do you want to start off with first, Recon? Your choice.
Um, I think, how about we start with Blue Lock, the spiciest of the spiciest topics
All right, well, Blue
going
Lock,
around lately.
yeah, people are definitely talking about it. Blue Lock is one of my favorite sports anime. I think it's super hype and it's got a lot of good things going for it, It's got really fun characters, interesting characters, cool character designs, and the moments are so hype. There's certain moments within these soccer matches that are so hype, but there is a little bit of controversy and talk about season 2. Recon, if you want to add anything.
Yeah, so, if you guys don't know, but I'm pretty sure many of you know, because I'm sure a lot of you are watching Blue Lock, but, they downgraded this anime from its glory from season 1, because I am very sure that a different animation team is doing it, even though it's the same studio. But the whole thing is now just a slideshow animation, which really pains me to watch,
So
but I'm still watching it.
it is unfortunate. It is unfortunate. Episode 1, I didn't notice anything, obviously, because there was no matches. They were just kind of setting up
Yeah,
the
there were no
premise,
matches.
which I'll explain the premise to everyone going forward. I still recommend Blue Lock. I still think it's good. However, unfortunately, apparently they were just really rushed with deadlines. Maybe it's a new studio. I don't remember exactly. You could definitely tell there's a little bit
Same
more.
studio.
Same studio. So it's the same
Same studio,
studio.
but
They were
I'm
just
pretty sure it's
rushed
just a different animation team or
or a
something.
different animation team, and they were rushed with deadlines, and you could definitely tell in episode 2 that there was a little bit more still frames. Although that did happen in season 1 as well, where there's a lot of internal dialogue.
Very little though.
There's a lot of internal dialogue though with Blue Lock. There's a lot of thinking about what's about to happen, talking about what's happening or about to happen, and then you usually get a short animation snippet that's usually pretty cool for the goal or the player, etc. And I do find there was a bit of a downgrade with season 2. It's pretty noticeable, but at the same time, I still enjoyed the hell out of season 2. Like I'm still really enjoying season 2.
No, you're funny.
Like you're not enjoying it,
It's
Recon?
so it's so bad. How can you enjoy it?
I don't watch
Literally,
I don't watch anime for the animation, dude. I watch anime for like the moments and the characters, and
no, I'm not
I'm
talking about the animation. It's just that everything that Blue Lock was in season 1, the impact and the moments and the goals and the plays, it's just gone in the second season. It's completely
I
missing.
don't
Don't you
agree
see
with
that?
I don't agree with that. I think episode 2 and episode 3 has some cool moments, and it's a build up. We got to remember it's the start of the season. It still has cool moments. I can't remember the character's name, but there's the guy that they were calling Antenna with like the crazy hair, and he has like they're calling him Antenna hair. Like he had some like cool moments, and the colors were so impactful. He saved the game, and then you had not Nagi,
Antenna head.
an
Are
Antenna
you
head.
talking about the guy with a little pink on his hair?
The pink on the ends of his hair. They were calling him
Yeah,
Antenna head.
Shido. Shido.
Shido. I thought he had some cool moments and there was like colorful explosions. And then at the end of episode 3, you have Isagi where he has a couple things that he's really good at. Like he's able to visualize the entire field with his eyes. He's good at like volleying out of the air and striking the ball out of the air. But he was noticing that like his body couldn't keep up with what his mind was doing. And at the very end of the episode, he has this moment where he relies on like his like reflex instinct. So without thinking, he kind of in flow did what he would have thought about, and because of the fact that he wasn't really thinking about it too hard, there was a lack of like dissonance, and he was able to get to the ball quicker where his body was not able to do it prior. And I don't know, I thought it was a great moment. He was able to overshadow 2 of the guys from the top 6, and I don't know, I'm still enjoying it.
I mean, it's not like the worst thing or really bad. It's just like it's not what it used to be. Like back then, Blue Lock was super popular thanks to it airing on the side of the World Cup and everybody was watching it. now in the second season, it's not as popular. People are dropping it left and right because of the
The
lower
animation.
quality of the animation,
I
and
think
yeah, they're
people are gonna
like not
bite.
a lot of people are happy.
I think people are gonna take it back once we get to episode 7 and episode 8. I think things are just ramping up, and yes, absolutely, there's a noticeable decrease in quality. However, I think it's still episode 2 and episode 3. I think we gotta stick with it because at the end of the day, it's a great show and a great story with cool
I get
characters.
it, but are we gonna see improvements in the animation, like
I don't know.
less PowerPoint animation?
You got
We don't know.
So let me explain the premise of this show. Basically, this guy has created this kind of like not a school, but like a boot camp for soccer with a
The
different
legend Ego.
ego
Or
with it
ego.
ego with,
Ego or
with
ego.
it's ego, right? Or what, I don't know how to
With an
pronounce it.
E.
But yes, but it's a different ideology of this camp where it's all about ego, it's all about yourself, it's all about scoring, as opposed to like Japan's like national team where they're all about like teamwork and defense and they play very passive. He's trying to create this new generation of goal scorers. He's trying to create the next Messi, the next Ronaldo, and I think at the end of season 1 they had this thing where like the camp was about to get shut down. And basically, he challenged, I think, the under 20 team, the under 20 national team to a match in order to prove that these ego styles of play will work. And prior to that, he is doing a little competition within the camp to form to form the team, right? That's going to play against them. And I think the premise is really hype here, and it's just building up. The end of the season will probably end with a match against that U20 team, or at the very least, the final of all the matches forming that team that'll play against them. So I think it's a build up, and the actual premise and the stakes are really high. Because if they lose, the camp's done. Blue Lock is done.
Yeah. They're gonna have to play their best. They're gonna have to win, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But my boy Chigiri with the speed, he
Oh.
is on it.
Yes, sir, dude. There's so many cool
He is
characters,
on it.
so many great moments, and everyone's fighting to prove themselves, and I love it.
Honestly, when there is like no slideshow animation and you actually see the characters moving and the
Yeah.
impact, it is epic.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That doesn't
sure.
really happen much right now, so that's an unfortunate.
All right, let's talk about Dandadan, the absolute fever dream of an anime.
Dandadan.
Dandadan.
Dandadan, dandadan, dandadan. Dandadan, dandadan, dandadan.
All right, Recon, how are you feeling about Dandadan so far?
Honestly, I'm really liking it. It did surprise me a lot. I thought it was gonna be like, just a regular supernatural anime of, ghosts are real, aliens are real, but no, it is crazy. It is freaky, and I love it. There is so much happening, but I'm digging where this is going so far.
I wish I
And
was
it's even
better.
got powers and shit. This is awesome.
It's really, really cool. I wish I was better with character names. I love ChatGPT. Dandadan character names.
Oh boy,
Please.
I'm already forgetting the characters. Oh yeah, the girl's name is Ayase, and the guy is what was his name?
Yeah, Momo ISA is the guy,
Girl.
right? Is the girl?
No, the girl.
And then
Yeah,
Ken,
Ayase is-
Ken Takakura is the guy. There we go.
Oh yeah,
I'm
Ken.
so
Ken,
bad.
That's right, Ken.
And then we got Turbo Granny. We got Momo's grandmother, which
I
appeared.
wanna eat your wiener.
Dude, it is. I was watching the first episode, and I'm like, I don't know if this is the worst anime I've ever watched or the best anime I've ever watched. It was all over the place.
my God.
It ramped up and went crazy. Like 10 minutes into episode 1, it just turned into a fever dream. I had no fucking clue what was going on to a certain extent. It was absolutely insane. But anyway,
Bro, the supernatural events is crazy with Turbo Granny and those alien dudes who just want to penetrate ISA with
Oh
their
my God.
fucking drill or whatever was coming out. It was freaky deaky, I'm telling you.
so I don't know if I would recommend this to a casual anime fan. Absolutely
No,
not.
this is definitely not.
But
Definitely
if
not.
you watch seasonal anime and you're big into anime, you've watched like tons and tons of anime, and you want to watch a crazy show that is actually pretty well written, but it's definitely a little freaky at times, I would recommend Dandadan. So basically, it's about Ayase and Takakura. One of them is like into aliens and like UFOs, and one of them is into like ghosts and supernatural stuff. And of course, there, I think it was Ayase in episode 1 kind of defends Ken against like bullies and stuff. So the girl is defending this guy against bullies, and this guy is this fucking mob.
He's a nerd.
Yeah, he's a nerd, but he looks like Mob. It kills me. But yeah, He kind of, I mean, now he's got a new hairstyle, so it's different. But in episode 1, it's like, we got this supernatural anime with a mob looking dude. Anyway, they kind of end up making this bet that, like, ghosts are real versus aliens are real. So they both go to different, like, locations where they hear about rumors. And of course, different hotspots. And Ayase gets, like, kidnapped or whatever, picked up by a UFO and these aliens. But at the same time, of course, at the same time, Ken runs into Turbo Granny, which is like this supernatural demon ghost girl who wants to eat his wiener. And like, it's fucking ridiculous. And basically they end up like he's trying to run out of this tunnel, and he gets like his body taken over and his wiener stolen. Yes, this is the plot of this story. It's ridiculous. And then Ayase at the same time got kidnapped and like stripped, and is like, they're trying to use her for reproduction because they only have males on their planet. It's fucking,
God.
It's such a ridiculous concept, but the colors and the animation and the premise itself is just so over the top crazy that it does make it enjoyable, and it's so fast paced, it's nuts. I think it's kind of like one of the best anime I've watched so far this season. I haven't watched everything. Which I remind you, by the way, me and Recon are going to do a series, which like every week or so, we're going to do 3 different anime. So next week, we're going to watch 3 new anime and talk about it next week. So I'm excited. So maybe something will be better than this.
Can you confirm whether this is your first time seeing a granny in booty shorts?
Yes. So Momo Ayase's grandmother, who we talked about in episode 1. I assumed she was dead, by the way. Did you assume she was dead in episode 1, that like her grandmother was not alive?
Yeah, she like talked about her at some points, about her being like some woman that with exorcist powers or exorcising ghosts or whatever.
And
then we finally see her.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh my god, she's like the hottest grandmother I have ever seen.
Yeah, she's a rocket. But it's crazy though, because in episode 1, Ayase was like, "Oh, I let my grandmother down. I feel so bad. I wish I had acted differently and believed in what she believed in, or at least supported her." And she was like scared of looking stupid or something like that. And she was talking like this way. I'm like, "Oh, her grandmother's dead. Her grandmother's dead." Turns out her grandmother looks like she's fucking like 30 years old. She just has gray hair but a banging body. Like, she's obviously she's probably like in her 50s or 60s or something like that. But she looks like she's like 30 years old. So maybe she's using some supernatural powers to keep that body in check. I don't know, but oh my goodness gracious.
She is something, man.
Yeah. But other than the episode 1 craziness, how did you feel about episode 2 and 3?
Episode 2 and 3 are pretty good. It started really picking up once Ken actually got his transformation powers, which really looked cool. And I say, showing a bit more development with what she can do by inheriting some powers from her grandmother and being able to use supernatural powers, and just things get crazier because different kinds of monsters then appear, and Turbo Granny is back and she's trying to, eat their wieners, or
it's fucking, I don't know. Nuts. It's nuts.
It's going crazy.
So after
it's just full of craziness.
After the episode 1 craziness and setup, basically Ayase got like psychic abilities, right? Mm-hmm. But Ken Kakakura got like these demon abilities. So we got to see all these different abilities in episode 2 and episode 3 kind of clashing, but also against different like enemies and monsters and demons and stuff. So it went from like episode 1, like a setup that was crazy fever dream fast paced, to like building up this power system and building up like the world and stuff like that. And I'm super invested. Especially, we got a little bit of a romance going on that's not really there yet, but you could tell they like each other. Ayase and Ken definitely have some chemistry going on.
I do quite like that everything takes place in the real world. It's just that Ayase and Ken, when they face off against these supernatural beings, they go into a different dimension because nobody else in the world can see what they're seeing. Mm-hmm. So it's really awesome to see this.
I agree. So I think I'm liking Dandadan a little bit better than Blue Lock, but I think they're both worth a watch. Unfortunately, Blue Lock's animation might be a little bit subpar at times, but I think they're both worth a watch. The animation in Dandadan is fantastic. The art style is a little bit different than most anime, but I think it's good.
Dude, why does Creepy Nuts do banger openings? I just got to know how Creepy Nuts
It
does
just
this.
banger after banger.
First they did the Mashal second season opening, which went extremely viral, and now the Dandadan opening is also going extremely viral. This Creepy Nuts is awesome. I really love this band.
I feel like they just know how to make it vibey. They know how to get
They
the
really know
they
how
know
to make
how
viral
to
music.
they know how to get the boys going while listening to an opening, and the vibes are just crazy. I don't know how to describe it. I talk about anime, I don't talk about music, but like it just always a vibe. Okay, so at the end of episode 3, it is setting up basically Ayase and Ken are on their way to that tunnel.
I've already seen episode 4 today, by the way, but I'm
Oh,
not gonna
episode
say
4
anything.
came out today. I didn't realize.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway,
I watched it.
they're on their way to the tunnel to kind of challenge Turbo Granny to like a race, and they're trying to lure her outside her domain so that they could like take her out and they're trying to get Ken's dick back. That is the story. That is currently what is happening. They're trying to get Ken's dick back, and it's fucking absurd concept, but why am I so invested?
It's just something unique and different that you've never seen before. That's why.
Yeah, it's very unique, it's very different, but it's also kind of wholesome that Ayase is like risking her life to help Ken. I ship them, dude. I
Well,
ship them hard.
they're in this together. They're in this together.
Yep. Anyway, so the final anime we're covering today is Demon Lord
Demon Lord.
2099, which this was a recon recommendation, came out of the blue. I don't know if we may have talked about it briefly on a previous episode, but I wasn't exactly planning on watching it for sure. But you know what? Recon convinced me. Recon, take it away.
So, Demon Lord 2099 is a really interesting Demon Lord series. So, pretty much a lot of people believe or think every Demon Lord is so overpowered and like over the top, and they're like the kings of the kings. But I'm here to tell you the good news. Not this one, because this truly has really good power struggle, even for a Demon Lord. So, the Demon Lord named Veltal was slain by the hero, and that was back in like the 1600s or 1700s.
Yeah, the series starts off with the Demon Lord dying back in the 1600s.
Yeah. In the 1600s, he was slain by the hero, and then years passed until 2099. Technology has advanced majorly. Everything is now cyberpunk, sci-fi themed.
Yep.
So Veltal still thinks he's the king of everything. He still thinks he's overpowered. But the surprise is, every single person in 2099 easily overpowers Veltal because of the technology that has majorly advanced.
So there's one thing you missed upon here. So basically, in 1600s, the Demon Lord was killed, but in 2099, he was reincarnated or like revived, right?
Yeah, he was revived by one of his comrades,
one of his followers. And back in the day, there was kind of a struggle between the mortals and the immortals. And obviously, the Demon Lord's technically immortal, and I'm sure that's why he was able to be revived or whatever. But the immortals were kind of like, the mortals were trying to kill the immortals and kind of get rid of them all, right? And Veltor gets reincarnated back into 2099, and as you mentioned, it's a sci-fi world, and they all have these like chips implanted into them. So basically, even though Veltor has like all this like super strong magic, it's too slow to keep up with like the science of the future. So it's super funny. This guy could like do these crazy attacks, and everyone's like, "Oh, who's using weather magic?"
The thing is, everybody overpowers Veltal now because everyone can use magic just like him. But the key thing here is that they can just cast it instantly, while Veltal needs to actually chant it. And he finds out that one of his followers betrays him. And he's now the Lord. He controls everything. He's the one that created those chips, gave it to everyone so everyone can have an easy life. And then Veltal here just gets thrashed around by even gangs. He's just so weak.
Yeah, it's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. So yeah, one of Veltor's previous followers is like now the CEO of this gigantic company, and he has all the power. And when Veltor came to him, he was basically like, "Yeah, I actually fucking hated your guts, and now that I'm stronger and everyone's stronger than you, get the hell out of my building." So now we have a weak immortal demon lord walking the streets trying to find a way to live and survive and get stronger so he can reclaim his throne, because his goal is still world domination. He still wants to lead the world, right? But he has no money and he's relatively weak. And he's in a world where it's like he's trying to get a job, and you're like, do you have an identification? No. Do you have the chip inside you? No. Well, sorry, we can't give you a job. And it was such a fucking funny scene when he's trying to get the job, and he was lifting off like his
everything in his resume is just like, I've led an army of thousands. I'm a world domination leader. Nobody believes him.
He's like, I am very good at strategic war mongering. Like, it was just so fucking funny. Also, what is Elon Musk's business where he's like implanting things into people's brains? Does anyone know what's that called, chat?
I don't know.
But it's basically what they're doing in this series, and it's giving these people all these like super like they have like, rather than using their phone, they could access like the internet, and they have like this AI in their head that they could use. What is the name of the anime again? It's Demon Lord 2099. It's actually pretty good. I enjoyed it. Really the ending of episode 2 though was a fucking mindfuck. I was not expecting it, which we'll get into in a second.
Episode 3, Briggs.
I only watched 2. There was only 2 on the website I was using.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Demon Lord 2099. Anyway, it just reminds me of that thing that Elon Musk is doing, and then they're basically able to access the internet. Yeah, Neuralink. It's kind of like a Neuralink, what they all have in this anime, and basically it allows them to use their magical abilities or their certain things super quickly. And basically, even though the Demon Lord back in the day had an advantage because he would be able to do it quicker than everyone else by not doing like full like chantings or whatever, now everyone's so much faster than him, so he's just weak in comparison. But yeah, he couldn't get a job, basically. And without a job, he can't make money, and he wouldn't be able to have a place to stay. He's kind of living with one of his subordinates right now, but they have like a 1-by-1 little fucking closet, right? So his big idea, and I find it so funny, it was such a twist that I didn't see coming. His big idea to make money, he saw a VTuber on the TV, and he's like, I'm going to become a Twitch streamer, basically, or I'm going to become a streamer to make money. And I don't know where this anime goes, but it's just so funny because like this guy's got this charismatic, deep voice. He has a way of talking that is a little bit old-fashioned. And it's like, and then out of nowhere, the ending of the episode just cuts to him being like, what's up, boys? Welcome to my channel. How's it going? I'm the Demon Lord 2099.
Oh, God. It's really funny.
But like in a deep and like sophisticated voice, which I just can't do. It was hilarious. I was fucking dying. Anyway, you watched episode 3.
Demon Lord is a streamer.
I thought there was only 2 episodes.
No, actually, I think it's 2 episodes. Let me check again. I must have been wrong.
I mean, if the last thing you watched was the ending where he becomes a streamer, then we're on the same page.
Yeah, never mind. It is 2, yeah.
Anyway, like I would recommend this. I think it's pretty funny, and I think it's got some good moments. It's a cool concept. It's a little bit different than other demon shows I've seen. And the fact that he's weak and struggling and trying to figure it out, not just from like a power perspective, but from like a monetary perspective. And it's also like, as a streamer, it's really funny for me because like obviously we have like, what's it called? Devil's a part-timer where he goes to work at McDonald's to like make money and survive. But in this time, he's going to be a streamer to make money. So it's a little bit more modern, and it's hilarious. It's so fucking funny.
I mean, what attracted me to this series in the first place was the whole idea of a demon lord in the cyberpunk themed era. This is what mainly attracted me to go and watch it, and when I did, it was insanely good.
It was awesome, man.
It's just nice to see a demon lord for once that is not overpowered, you know, because usually the most generic series come out and the demon lord is just overpowered. Yeah, he's dominant, he destroys everyone, we get it. Yeah, it's gonna be so like
predictable. It's a flex,
and yeah, but this time it's different, and I like seeing this.
Yeah, I'm a little bit over watching people like, I got reincarnated into another world and I'm the best, yay, I'm so much better than everyone else, let me flex on everyone to impress all the women in my harem that are gonna come no matter what. And it's just like, don't get me wrong, that's fun at times, and I'm sure there'll be anime we talk about where it's like, okay, this had a different spin on it, or the characters are likable enough for me to care. But it's definitely nice just having a little bit of a different spin on something like that. Mm-hmm. But overall, I do think I like Dandadan the most, then Blue Lock second most, and then Demon Lord 2099 third most, just because like Even though like maybe Demon Lord 2099 was executed a little bit better, but just for like the anime that I
It's kind of
enjoy.
crazy that you like a slideshow animation more than
I
Demon
dude,
Lord
I don't
2099.
watch anime for animation. Like I read so much manga that like it's just nice having some music and dialogue. Like don't get me wrong,
Everybody's literally saying for Blue Lock because they're just literally showing still shots of the manga panel colored and just adding a little bit of like moving effects. So that's basically what it is. And
is it
everybody's
bad? I
like,
don't care. I just don't care. I
everybody's just
love
saying,
Blue Lock.
Go read the manga."
I mean, yeah, you guys go read the manga, but I wouldn't drop like not continue the series.
No, I'm gonna continue it. I just don't care if it's bad, but it's just painful to see that it's gone from
Yeah,
its glory.
I watched season one. I didn't read season one, and I obviously season one was a little bit better, but like, dude, we're on episode 3, and I'm still loving it. I'm a big fan. I'm loving it. I'm invested, and I'm excited to see more of all 3 of these series. And I would rank them. I would go Dandadan, Blue Lock, then Demon Lord 2099 for my excitement. But again, like it's hard. You can't compare 2 episodes of Demon Lord 2099 to the fact that I've watched all of season 1 of Blue Lock. I love the series, and I'm invested in the characters and the premise, right?
Right.
So, would you rank them differently? You would rank them Dandadan, 2099 Demon Lord.
I would say Dandadan 2099 and then Blue Lock.
Yeah, that's fair.
Blue Lock last.
Okay, let's talk about what we're gonna watch next week or watch for next week. Let me just pull up Annie chart real quick.
Next week, the next 3 anime we're
The
going to
next
talk.
3 anime that we're gonna talk about, ideally, these are gonna be around like 30-minute discussions. It's not gonna be anything too crazy. So the most popular anime this season right now apparently are Dandadan, ReZero, and Blue Lock. The only thing is I'm just not willing to watch the new season of ReZero until I rewatch a bunch of anime. I started watching the first episode. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
You still haven't seen it?
I watched like a little bit of the first episode, but I'm like, I just don't have the memory or the context to care. And I feel like I need to rewatch at least the last season. I would like to rewatch it all, but at least the last season to appreciate this, you know?
Okay.
The next most popular anime is Uzumaki, so we could talk about Uzumaki.
I
if
didn't
you
like it. It was just
No
shit.
opinions, no opinions.
Okay, fine. You really want to talk about it? I only watched the first episode and didn't watch the next.
Okay, that's crazy. I thought the first episode was pretty good. But anyway, is there any other anime you want to talk about next week? We could talk about Dragon Ball Daima. We could talk about Bleach. Are you watching the new season of Bleach?
No, I
Damn
never
it.
even finished the very first season.
Dude, Bleach is so peak right now. It's crazy. But okay, I guess we don't need to cover it if you're not.
We can talk about Shangri-La. You watching Shangri-La?
I haven't started watching it yet, but I'm down. Episode 3 is airing in a couple of days, so we can watch it for next week. The 3 episodes. So we'll do
We can
we'll
talk
do
about
Shangri-La Frontier. We could do Dragon Ball Daima if you're interested, because episode 3 is airing tomorrow.
Sure, we can do Dragon Ball Daima.
Do you have a
and,
third? So Shangri-La Frontier second season, Dragon Ball Daima, and do you have a third that you really want to discuss or talk about? There was an Orb anime people are talking about, or something. I don't know what it's called.
Orb?
Yeah, people are saying it's like anime of the season.
Orb?
Yeah, something
What do you
Orb.
mean by orb?
I don't know. Chat, please, anyone here, help me. What is this Orb anime you guys are talking about? I really want to watch it. I don't see
There
it.
is, if you want, there is Mecha Ure, or there is Let This Grieving Soul Retire. Those 2 are pretty decent.
The only one talking in my chat right now is Ixis, but there's like 40 people here. I know you guys were talking about Orb the other day. It was something Orb. I swear, I'm not crazy.
Orb?
Help, chat, help.
Like, what did they say regarding this orb or whatever?
They said it was the potential for anime of the season, but I don't see no Orb. Am I making it
Orb?
up? Was it not Orb? I'm looking at the
Like,
most pop-
ORB?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But I don't see nothing.
There's nothing called orb.
Grieving Soul. What's Grieving Soul?
It's Let This Grieving Soul Retire, or Nageki no Bore wa Intai Shitai.
I'm
By
Googling
Zeruji.
Orb fall season anime. Oh, Orb, the movements of the earth.
Oh, that one by Madhouse.
Orb, the movements of the earth. I don't know what the Japanese name is, but I'm down to watch this for next week if you're down. Have you watched it?
I actually have not seen this one yet.
All right, that's perfect then.
Is it
Oh,
good?
apparently, everyone's saying it's kind of great, from what I've heard. So we're gonna
I mean,
watch
sure, we could definitely say that.
next week Shangri-La Frontier, second season, Dragon Ball Daima, and then we're gonna watch Orb, Movements of the Earth. Those are our 3 anime for next week, boys.
Holy shit! Episode 5 airing in one day. I gotta catch up.
I mean, we can watch all 5 if we want. It's like we'll just get caught up on the 3 anime that are currently out.
Yeah, it is highly rated, so I'll check it out.
I don't even see it. I don't see it on this fucking list.
It's called Chi. It's the anime is called Chi. Chi means orb.
Chi. Oh, it's right here. Yeah, Chi. It's like it's pretty up there. It's not like at the top of the list, but it's up there. I'm down. All right, gamers. I think that's the end of today's little podcast with me and Recon. Next week we're covering those 3 anime that we just mentioned, and I'm excited. So after this podcast, I'm just gonna on stream watch these anime. So stay tuned for next week on Thursday, boys. Recon, thank you so much for joining me, homie.
Thank you for having me.
That was fun. I think that was a fun little discussion. 30 minutes, just ranting about anime.
I look forward to the next one for whatever you want to have it, whenever you want to have it.
Hell yeah, boys.
Next week or the week after. It's up to you.
Check out Recon's YouTube channel. He talks about new anime and recommendations and stuff like that.
Check me out on YouTube. Subscribe to Anime Recon. Hit that like button and yeah, just do your thing.
Do the thing. Do the thing. All right. Bye, boys. Shimpaku, bang.
Bang.
Yeah, outro. Yeah.